Hey, it's Mike with a Y, and you're listening to My Reality Recap, the only podcast where I get to talk about all of my feeling sorts of shows that I love. On this week's episode, I'm going to talk about the Be Your Own Inspiration Challenge on Project Runway Jr. and the Kids Creation Challenge on Face Off. I hope you're ready for this, so put your glasses on and get ready to get your muse on with me. I'm so happy to be back for the official start of Season 2 of My Reality Recap, and what better way to pick right up with Project Runway Jr. We haven't missed much on this show since I took my little break over the holidays between seasons, but let me just say we are down to the final four now on Project Runway Jr., and it is Maya, Paidy, Samantha, and Zachary, and these four kids are so talented. I mean, I kind of knew that these four would be the ones to make it the farthest, especially these three girls. Like, these girls are, like, top-notch, and Maya is just incredible, and just to refresh your guys' memory, Maya is the 13 who just turned 14-year-old designer who is incredible. I want to say impeccable. Does that work too? Impeccable? Anyway, she's super talented. I love her. But let's just get started on the recap of this episode. So the challenge this week was the Be Your Own Muse challenge, and they had to create a look that was inspired by themselves and their journey on Project Runway Jr. because this was the final challenge before New York Fashion Week. And so these four knew they're going down to 3, and this is the last chance, and they had to make something big. And as we talked about before, they don't really have much drama on the show. The kids don't really say that many mean things about each other behind their back because they're kids, and they want to give them a good spotlight, so they don't take the whole, like, reality TV, we gotta make this person a villain side of things. It's just like, oh, these kids are great designers, blah, 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 blah. So the kids were working, like, really hard, and they all ended up doing some sort of dress. So when it got time to the runway, Paidy had a purple and red dress, and it had some fringe hanging from a belt. The belt looked like super expensive, and she made the belt herself, obviously. And there's lots of grommets on it, and it had like this cool print throughout the whole thing, and it was kind of shiny. And she had a choker on her, and the model had a big afro. It just had like a cool vibe piece, which Paidy is like the bohemian beach surfer girl, so she always creates something cool and beachy, and that's what she did for this look. Samantha had a coat and a baseball tee dress, and like when I say baseball tee dress, I don't mean like a baseball tee like what all the gay guys wear at bars. It's like the old pinstripes on like the baseball, like the Yankees, I think they did that. The Yankees jerseys, uniforms, like the stripes going up and down. So she made a dress with the stripes going down it and another coat, which she's always making coats, and it looked very simple and nothing too crazy. Like all the other designers are like pushing themselves, and Samantha kind of kept in her like little mold of what she usually does. Maya's model had like a sheer coat, and it had all this boning and like this great design onto it, and it was all sheer. So when there was actually like a big OMG wow moment before we even saw the clothes on the runway, because they do that little backlight thing where the model stand behind it and you see the silhouette. We saw the silhouette of her model, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, here we go. And her model just came down the runway super fierce. So she had that sheer coat on, and she had a masculine and feminine outfit together. So there was lots of like leather and grommets meets like soft colors. I think it was like an olive and black. So it really played the masculine and feminine. And it really was about her journey, because she has to have like a strong backbone in the rib cage to protect her heart to be in this competition. And because she is so young. But I literally said, holy shit, when it first came out on the runway. I was like, this is why this girl is my favorite on the season. And the last dress that we saw was from Zachary, and it kind of looked like there was 2 dresses that were pieced together. The top one it was all like, it's really hard to explain. It was really old Chanel. That's kind of how like he said it. And it just looked like the top stopped around the hips, and then another dress started right below the hips. And it didn't really blend very well, and like right away I knew he was going to be one of the bottom looks. So when we get to the judges' critiques, the judges were like in awe over Maya's dress, and they even mentioned the OMG moment before it came down the runway. Paidy was also the other like top look. They loved what she did. So that left Zachary for sure in the bottom, and then Samantha was in the middle just because she had no like wow moment, and it kind of was like some of the things she did in the past, but she actually did something better than Zachary. So right away I'm kind of knowing that Zachary is going to be the one eliminated. And so getting to the results of the episode, the first person who made it to New York Fashion Week is Maya. And then the second one was Paidy, and that left Zachary and Samantha as the bottom 2. Samantha was safe and Zachary was out. And it was like so hard watching this kid get out, because he was like so emotional. He was so close to it. He did so good throughout this whole season. He just kind of messed up at this challenge. and all the judges were sad and crying, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's just a TV show, get over it, people. And then Tim Gunn still had his save for the Tim Gunn save. So in the back room, Tim Gunn is like, you want to know what? You're not going home, Zachary. I am using my save on you, and you're going to New York Fashion Week. So next week, we have the final four of Maya, Patty, Samantha, and Zachary competing with collections for New York Fashion Week. And my prediction is I really want it to be Maya. Like, more than anything, I want it to be Maya because she is honestly so talented, and I haven't seen designs like the stuff she has created from lots of other people from other seasons of Project Runway. Like, she is so talented, and she is so young, and she's so smart, and the way she, like, I don't know, this girl is just so incredible. I'm gonna, like, really reach out to her and have an interview with her because I'm just so amazed by Maya. If it's not Maya, I would love for it to be Patty, but I really think for some reason they're just going to give it to Samantha because Samantha does this whole, like, menswear on females thing, and it has, like, its own style and its own story, so I really feel like they're just going to go with that because it's a good branding thing when the other designers are kind of, they fit into other people's things already. So that's my prediction. I want it to be Maya, but I think it'll be Samantha, so hopefully they just prove me wrong and they give it to Maya in the end. Face Off is back, and all of you know that I love me some Face Off. And the recap of this part is always really quick because there's no drama on the show ever. It's all about being creative and artsy, and if you follow me on any of my social media things, you know I'm one creative son of a bitch. So the challenge in Face Off this week was that they were put into teams, and they had to create a wacky, larger-than-life character inspired by a children's object. So it's very whimsical, very happy, and there's all these different items that they had to pick from, like a race car and crayons and a ballerina. And so they all had to, like, pick different things and go from there. And so the team of Walter and Ant created a race car female, and she was in this jumpsuit, and it had all these, like, little tires around it. And she basically looked like she was like a transformer that could transform into a toy car if she wanted. Jerogi and Jennifer had crayons, and so they created a man who was like a yellow crayon, like straight up a yellow crayon, except his fingers were actual crayons that he could write with, but instead of making a yellow crayon with yellow crayon fingers, they gave him fingers that were different colors, so the yellow crayon could actually write in other colors, which doesn't really make much sense. And there wasn't much depth to the paint job. It was actually a really shitty paint job. Anna and Mel had a watch, and so they created a human character with all these numbers and clock things all around him because he was the guy who would be on watch for when the humans would come into the toy room and tell all the other toys they have to get back to sleep. And this one was amazing. I saw it and I was like, that's a top look for sure. Robert and Yvonne had dice, and their thing was really clowny. It was really weird. It was more on the creepy side, and it was supposed to be happy and whimsical. And Rob, Johnny, and Melissa had a lollipop-inspired character, and it was done really well. It just wasn't super happy, but like the paint job on it, it was like looked three-dimensional, and it was just beautiful. Katie and Caleb had a key, and so they made it like a ballerina who was in charge of the key, because, you know, like ballerina be on a lockbox, and you'd have to have a key to get into your lockbox to like open up all your precious little secrets or whatever. And it just had lots of pieces on her hair. It was a fun, pretty character. I really liked it. So the top looks for this week were Anna and Mel with their watch stopper guy, and Rob, Johnny, and Melissa with their lollipop-inspired character. And the winning team was Anna and Mel, and they can only award one person the win on Face Off, so they gave it to Mel. So the watch stopper guy won, and they deserved it. It was a great makeup. The bottom two looks were Robert and Yvonne, which had the clowny dice character, and Jerogi and Jennifer with the yellow crayon. And the eliminated contestant on Face Off was Jennifer. And Jennifer is from Michigan, and I almost got to meet her, but there was a bad snowstorm, so I couldn't go to meet her. So Jennifer was eliminated this week, and now Face Off is down to 12 contestants left. And seriously, it just started, you guys. Jump right in. You will absolutely love this show. It'll be so creative for you, and your mind will just blow, and you'll be so expanded, and you'll just be able to make all those great things. So I actually have two favorites so far this season. I love Caleb, and I love Anna. Anna has been in the top both weeks that the show has been on so far, so she is one to watch for sure. And Caleb, he is just a really good-looking guy, and I cannot tell if he plays for my team or not, But I'm just gonna keep watching and enjoying watching him on TV and see what he makes. So that concludes episode 14 of my reality recap. And I want to thank you all so much for listening to this podcast. It makes me feel really good inside to be back at it. And if you like what you heard today, please click that subscribe button and give this podcast a 5-star rating. That'll make me feel really good inside. And I want to keep the conversation going with all of you. Tweet me at Michael with a Y or hashtag MYRR to let me know all of your thoughts and feelings about the shows we talked about today, or which shows you want me to talk about in the future. You can keep up with me on social media all times. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Michael with a Y, and that is spelled exactly as it is on here. Don't forget to smile, and remember, glasses are sexy.